Ladies and gentlemen, here it is, the most listened to radio show on the planet. Even the other stations are tuned in too.
Due to the graphic nature of this program, content recommendation is for 18 and older. Listener discretion is advised.
Stop running, I'm a taser, stop running. Don't jump over the wall, stop. Do not move. We got him down, taser. Send the boss for taser.
That's right, Patriots. It's time for the Blue Line Podcast. They are broadcasting live, coast to coast, deep within the bunker of the Hybrid Armory Studios. And they are here to give you the facts and set America straight or what it's really like behind the badge. And now, let's put our hands together for your friends and mine, the Blue Line Podcast.
What is going on? Blue Line Patriots, hello. How are you out there in video? This will be our YouTube channel here and posted also on Twitter. All of our Blue Line Patriots out there that have taken the time to follow us, we thank you so much. Thank you. Real quick, too, shout out to USCCA. Got a really nice USCCA shirt on here. I talk about them often on this episode and many other episodes alike. Become a member, usconcealedcarry.com. Check them out. Tonight, we're doing a quick little episode here because I want to check out the video and the audio, and we're trying to kind of simulcast here by doing a video and putting it up on our pages. Of course, this episode will be also available on our media sites such as Spotify, iHeart, Pandora, Google Podcasts, Google Play, Google Music, Pandora, iHeart, the Law Enforcement Today Network. We're all over the place. Thank you for your support. It's been amazing, and we wouldn't be where we are right now without you guys. So thank you so much. Truly appreciate that. Tonight we're going to be talking about the reason why correctional officers should cross-train for emergency response. I think this is a very, very hot topic for our brothers and sisters on the other side of the fence that work the barbed wire concrete walls. I myself am a corrections officer with the Sheriff's Department, and a lot of people don't realize, we are kind of like the forgotten family of law enforcement, in society. Because they always see those on the road patrolling and being proactive that way. But, also we're within the facilities and we're housed with immigration guys that, not just, immigrants that have come over and been, detained and being deported wherever the case is, or fighting their case to seek asylum and become a citizen. But those that are of immigration that, are MS-13, Serranos, Mexican Mafia, the cartel, all this kind of stuff. We house really, really bad people, U.S. Marshals, murderers, rapists, child molesters, all the way up to people who are on their 10th DUI or selling drugs, home invasion, robbery, use of force, shootings. I mean, it's bad people. Like, jail's not there for friendly, nice, happy, fun people, So I just want to get that off my chest there. But we will be talking tonight about why corrections should cross-train for emergency responses. And, of course, we'll be touching base on this week's USCCA's Defender Nation, talking about the anti-police mentality and how it's spreading across this nation, which is just, it blows my mind how we put on a uniform every day, and I'm proud every time I'm going to work. I have my uniform on. When I'm putting it on in the evening, I work night shift. I I enjoy it. I like putting it on. I like putting my duty belt on, getting my gear set, ready to go for a night, to do work. So it's just mind blowing that there are people that are just defund the police and hate the police, or just law enforcement in general, because we're all on the same team. All my brothers and sisters out there that put that badge on, that walk out that door not knowing if that's the last time they'll see their family. It's happened on the correctional side. It's happened on, our deputies and officers on the road. Correction officers have been stabbed, throat slit, thrown off top balconies, in the Department of Corrections, the prison systems, local jails, they've been strangled. It's just, it happens. Like it happens, on a good day when we're full in the jail, COVID has kind of stopped that, from being a packed jail. But, back when we were there and it was fully operational, we would have, me and 70 inmates in a locked housing unit. And that's it. I don't carry a gun. I don't carry a baton. I don't carry a taser. I got handcuffs, a radio, keys, and pepper spray, OC, Ole Resin Capsaicin. That's all I carry, OC, in these hands. These mother effing hands right here, right? Something goes down, you can catch them hands. That's all I'm saying. It may not be trained, but justified. And those out there would know what I'm talking about. So let's dive into this story here, talking about correctional officers and why it is important to cross-train for emergency responses. And I'll kind of talk a little bit of story about something that kind of happened to us as well in my department. So, in order to function properly during emergency situations, we must get to know and work with all agencies in our criminal justice system. The mission of a correctional facility is clear. We protect society from confining inmates in a controlled environment. You guys hearing that? We protect society by confining inmates in a controlled environment. We also must ensure a safe environment for all prisons, jail staff, along with inmates. We provide public safety and security by preventing escapes, riots, gang activity, and terrorist activity. One way to do this is by working together with criminal justice systems at local, state, and federal levels. In order to function properly during emergency situations, we must get to know and work with all agencies in our criminal justice system, including the state's attorney and federal prosecutors. And sometimes it's like pulling teeth with those guys, right? We've seen it on the news, especially if they favor one side or the other, if they're far left or they're far right. How many prison administrators or sheriffs can honestly say they meet with local criminal justice agencies on a regular basis? You already know the functions of your jail as a sheriff or an administrator or warden, or of a prison, and what to do in case of a riot or an escape. The question to do, the other agencies know what we need and what to do in case of an emergency. Our local sheriff's office, police department, fire departments, emergency medical units, state troopers, Coast Guard, airport security, forestry division all need to know us and what we do as a correctional facility. The time to get connected is before an emergency happens. Schedule quarterly meetings and discuss possible emergency scenarios. Have some of the meetings at your local prison and take other agencies on a prison tour. Introduce your supervisors and officers to other agency heads. Schedule cross-training days. That's very important. Cross-training with local agencies builds trust and confidence. Everyone will learn from each other and feelings of fellowship and common loyalty with Blossom. Training scenarios should be provided and played out in a mock training environment. While training, try to make it as real as possible with each exercise each month so everyone gets a chance to train. With staff shortages and personal time off, several training dates should be provided, and training can be in the following areas. Now, this is a very important list here for all of our brothers and sisters that wear the uniform on the DOC and jail side. Training in escapes, riots, hostage situations, that can happen. Like I just said, I'm in a room with 70 people, locked. I got keys to get out, or I can go on my board and manually, touchscreen open stuff. However, if I get overtaken, we hit that button and it shuts down the monitors. It shuts down the control panel. So now I have to fight my way out through a unit with only keys, hoping and praying I don't get my keys taken. And then you have to fight for your life. And it becomes a hostage situation. There's also evacuation, canine trainings, suicide response, homicides, rape, which is PREA, the Prison Rape Elimination Act, contraband introduction, and bomb threats. Okay? In conclusion to this, prison and probation officers need to get out in the community so others can learn what we deal with and the dangers we face each day. We can also learn from each other and build respect through partnerships, community involvement, and, of course, training. Very, very important stuff. Train, train, train. Our CERT team trains. We get into gear. We get on the mat, in the mat room. Get on the floor. We get dirty. And you have to train. We train for suicides using the we call him Mr. Green Jeans. And he's probably a good 200-pound stuffed, big dummy that, we hang by a sheet. And you have to learn how to cut the knot, get him down, start, CPR. I mean, the whole nine, just it happens. And I'll tell you what, the stories I've heard just in our facility and witnessing other emergencies responding to other facilities that I've been at, a suicide call is very scary. And probably one of the worst calls to hear over the radio is for an officer down, calling for emergency response officer down. And that doesn't necessarily mean that that officer was assaulted, attacked, knocked out. He could have had, he or she could have had an emergency. Something happened to him. They could have had a heart attack, passed out, blood sugar dropped. Anything could have happened, So it's a controlled environment in a sense versus on the road where it's not so much controlled. But anything can happen at any moment, at any time within a facility. So training is very, very important. We're going to take a quick 30-second break. We'll be coming right back with our USCCA's Defender Nation story of the evening.
The Blue Line Podcast will be back after these messages.
Today's USCCA's Defender Nation is brought to you by Aggressive Concealment. They provide high-quality and exceptionally crafted holsters, appropriate for a full range of purposes. Get your holsters today at aggressiveconcealment.com.
The Blue Line Podcast is now back.
That is right. That voice you hear is from our original co-host of the show when we started a couple years ago, Devin. Phenomenal partner. She was great. We worked together in the sheriff's office. She has since then moved on to other things in her life outside of working in the jail within law enforcement. So I always wish her the best. And it was a good time together doing the show together. So hopefully she's doing well wherever she may be during this time. Anyway, USCCA's Defender Nation, we're talking about anti-police mentality and how it is spreading. All right? It's spreading like peanut butter and jelly. And it's kind of chunky, There's like big chunks of nuts in it. So it's not that good. But some of you may like it. But in a case like this, I really doubt it. So I'm going to come right out and say it. All right? It's about the uncertainty. It isn't about social justice or the peaceful protests. It's about the uncertainty and dangers of the anti-police mob mentality that is spread throughout the U.S. and the world. Because today's mob is far more hostile. If we take a dive into the history books, we could see that well-organized, peaceful protests can hold huge power. It's happened. And real progress can begin when people are able to have calm, rational conversations about problems and solutions. The sad reality is that violence has a way of seeping into these initiatives and seeking to do good. And despite our democracy, despite supposedly having a system in place where leaders are called to represent their constituents, interests in public policy decisions, okay? We're seeing mob rule, not the American people, not even politicians. It's a downright outrage. And now, defunding is likely to happen despite our opinions and best efforts. And we have seen this happen in other cities where they voted for people to do traffic stops unarmed. Right, let me say it again. Traffic stops unarmed to stop somebody in a motor vehicle violation who may have a gun. And sadly, we've seen it happen where our brothers and sisters have been shot or killed, even worse, right? At a traffic stop. Especially those that you've been in the academy. They play those videos. They get into your head. Safety. Insecurity. At all costs. Unarmed people pulling people over. How stupid can you be? Truly, how stupid can you be? You have to be. Because of in a post-COVID world that we live in, many cities are struggling with bankruptcy and budget cuts already. And I hate to say this, but a smaller or non-existent police force makes for bold and empowered criminals. Criminals looking for helpless and innocent people they can prey on. And we've seen this in the chop zones. Remember that? The chop and chaz zones there. Businesses are now suing the city. Suing them because they allowed this to happen. And I'll tell you what, they're going to win. They will win that lawsuit, 100%. It's just one more reason you need to be better prepared to protect. And you need to start now. Here at the Blue Line Podcast, we would like to invite you to see why more people have joined the USCCA in the past weeks than in any other time in our history. And a fun fact, a family of like-minded Americans that's over 350,000 members strong and still growing, okay? You can visit them at usconcealedcarry.com and get the extra protection. You can protect your family, let USCCA protect you from any legal headaches, all right? So that is my topic of this evening, talking about this. The defunding of the police is probably one of the dumbest things that I have seen, hands down. And in a left-ran, Democratic-funded department in county or state, I've seen it firsthand, heard the stories of certain things being sold off, budget cuts. Is happening around here, around where you're at, in this state and other states. It's happening, and it's sad. It really is. All we can do is show support and keep fighting the good fight. That's all we can do. And when it comes to November, vote for who you believe in. I'm not going to say who, but as us being a conservative show, you kind of already have an idea of who we're going for, right? This is serious times that we're in. And we need to buckle down and rise up. That's what we have to do. Other than that, I'm going to get out of here. This was just a nice little first time posting a video during a live show, seeing how this works. I'm Chris Caden. I will see you guys very soon. Thank you again. You can check us on our website, thewiscoblueline.com, www.thewiscoblueline.com. And, of course, check out our boys at the Roll Call Room podcast, Mike and Nick. He's got a phenomenal book out, You have to check it out. It's on their website. And you go to our website, too. We got a direct link for him as well. And, of course, if you carry a firearm, get that insurance, become a member. U.S. Concealed Carry, USCCA, that is where you have to go. I'm telling you, this is the best thing for you, all right? We love you guys. Be safe. As always, keep it locked, keep it chambered. We're out of here.
The Blue Line Podcast would like to thank its listeners, staff, and Hybrid Armory Studios for making this episode possible. And also a big thanks to our friends and supporters from Bluewood Mills, Relentless Defender, Thin Blue Line USA, Bravo Concealment Holsters, Officer Involved Project, Tier Talk, Mike the Cop, USCCA, and the Queensboro Hero. Until next time, keep it chambered and be safe.